We decided to film the movie in Wilmington because that's where the studio was, and we knew that we could do it for the price, and we hired all local people and local actors, other than the people we brought in from the outside. And it so happened that Lumberton was the name of a town in North Carolina. It's about an hour and a half or 2 hours outside of Wilmington. And I didn't realize that it was a real town. And I had said to David, where did you get the name of Lumberton? Well, he kind of said that he made it up, and he kind of said that he didn't make it up until we found out that it was the name of a real town.
Lumberton is a great name because it makes a picture in your mind.
I called the Chamber of Commerce to tell them, to inform them and the mayor's office that we were making this movie and we were calling our town Lumberton, which was a fictitious name, nothing to do with their town, and did we have the right to use their name.
This town had some very old neighborhoods, and they didn't look southern because it's in the south. And so I was very happy because in my mind this town is a little bit more northern. The atmosphere and the mood was so good, and the sidewalks were so beautiful, and I realized, I didn't know it before, but shooting on location is fantastic because when you go into someone's real house, you can't believe it, what they've got in these houses, and it gives you so many ideas.
We all felt like we were sort of castaways in this little studio in Wilmington, North Carolina, which suited us just fine. I know David was never happier. Dune, I think, was such a difficult slog, really, as it got going. He was down in Mexico for like a year and a half, you know, trying to manage this lumbering beast, you know, of a gigantic film, and it just, I think it really, really worked, you know, worked on him. And Blue Velvet was just really streamlined and perfect, and David was right back in his element, and I think it sort of, I certainly know it reinvigorated him and reminded him of what it is that he loves to do, you know, and why he loves filmmaking so much. It's because of this.
Blue Velvet is a whole new ballgame. I'm back into a place where I feel so good about film and about a way of working.
The challenging part of the movie is the crew asking questions and not having an answer because David hadn't told us yet.
We had a very little budget, and sometimes there were economical limitation, or running late, shooting long hours, sometimes 18, 19 hours per day.
Come closer.
It was nerve-wracking, really was, for any number of reasons. I mean, first of all, it's, you know, I'm standing there with my shorts off, you know, and I'm like, camera crews around, and Isabella Rossellini is right in front of me with a knife. I mean, that's not enough to sort of, you know, make you wake up in the morning of that scene with a few butterflies. I don't know what is.
Hello, baby.
Shut up! It's Daddy, you shithead. Where's my bourbon?
I didn't know Dennis, and it was his first film after a long time of healing from his drug abuse. And I was obviously a bit frightened of him. I had asked if I could have breakfast with him because the first scene that I shot with Dennis was the scene of him doing this sort of ritualistic rape. And I remember going to breakfast with him. I joined him at the hotel where it was, and he seemed very bored. Said, what do you want? You want to know me? Here I am, you know. So I said, we're going to do this one. But he was right, because then on the set, Dennis was very, I remember that, you know, I had to open my legs, and he kind of kneels in front of me.
Mommy.
Mommy loves you.
Baby wants to fuck.
She was naked, and I wasn't told. I assumed that David, that they knew, but I didn't know.
Now show it to me.
Tried to do the scene with underwear, but we couldn't, because in a certain angles you would see the underwear. So we had to, in one angle we had to take the underwear off. Not that you would see it with the camera, but you would see the strap. I forgot what it was. And that embarrassed me. to be in front of, I mean, Dennis was going to be the only person who was going to see my vagina from up close like this, but still it was embarrassing because I didn't know him at all.
That was the first day. I'd never met Isabella, and suddenly she's nude in front of me.
So I said, I'm sorry to do this, it's hot. And he said, I've seen it before. And in his rude way, it made me very comfortable. I said, that's right, you've seen it all. I don't worry about you.
That was certainly an act of faith on her part and David's part to expose themselves that way.
There was a lot of laughing, funny enough. People don't probably realize that, but there was a lot of laughing that would go on, probably as a counterpoint to what you were seeing on film.
I remember David laughing so hard at that scene, laughing so hard. I remember stopping the scene once, and I said, David, what is there to laugh? This is a rape. What is there to laugh? And he said, I don't know, it just makes me laugh. And then years later, maybe 15 years after, the film was on television, and I looked at the film and just remember David laughing. It made me laugh, belly laugh like David, because I still don't understand what made him laugh.
David was wonderful. He was like a Boy Scout leader. You know, he'd say, peachy keen, solid gold, let's do one more. He would say, now, when you say that word, and I said, well, that word's fuck, David. He says, yes, I know, but when you say that word, oh, get ready to fuck! You fuckers, fucker! You fucker! Don't you fucking look at me!